Hello and welcome. I was out doing errands yesterday. I hadn't planned on going to the thrift store, but I decided it was a beautiful sunny day. It was nice to be out, and I'd just go take a peek and see what I would find. The first book that caught my eye was the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. I haven't read this work before, and the reason this book caught my eye is I've just finished another book that made reference to this. So I figured I've just read about it. Here's a copy of the book. It's worth giving it a try. I've been recording my dreams for well over 20 years, and I've kept my dream journals because I believe that we get different information and clues through our dreams. And I also believe that the ones that stand out are the ones that we're meant to remember and giving us clues and signs to what we need to be focused on or information that we need at the time. Part of that journey began with this book, Conscious Dreaming, and this is by Robert Moss. I had a copy of this book a number of years ago, and I really enjoy his writing style, the different suggestions that he has about dreams, and it isn't a book that this is what this symbol means for you. It's more about interpreting the dreams yourself because different things mean different things to different people. So, for example, when I dream about a house, it will mean something to me and something different for someone else, whether that's about stability or structure or safety. That's why it's important to pay attention to what's coming up in your dreams and figuring out what those symbols mean to you. It's funny that I found a copy of this book because, as I said, I had a copy a number of years ago. Then I decided that I had gotten what I needed from the book and I had passed it on. As I've been getting back into reading different things about dreams, such as Ted Andrews' Dream Alchemy, which is another great read, I was thinking it really is a shame I didn't keep conscious dreaming. So and suddenly, as I've been thinking about that these last few days, there it showed up on the shelf at the thrift store that I hadn't been planning to go to. So it was a nice surprise to see this as I was looking through my local thrift store. The third book that I picked up was the Living New Testament with Psalms and Proverbs. And this is a giant print edition, which I'm very happy about because the eyes are getting a bit older, so this will be a bit easier to read with the larger print. This book was a very interesting choice. I've been debating about picking up a Bible for quite some time because of the different references throughout the various books I've been reading, whether that's about the Nephilim, the Elohim. Having just read Origin of the Gods, there's a large section of that book that relates back to Bible references. Also, I was born and raised Roman Catholic, so it's a work that I'm familiar with, but that was a path that I left a number of years ago. Not because I so much have an issue with God. He and I have come to terms about the different things that happened and the reasons. There were just some people, let's say, that it just was not a path that I could continue with. The interesting thing about this particular book is that apparently it was a birthday gift in 1986, and I decided to pick this up because the person who had given it has the same name of one of my close friends who passed away from cancer a number of years ago. So I thought it was rather interesting. Synchronicity, coincidence, just a nice surprise, but that it would have her name in the front of a book that I've been thinking about picking up for quite some time. So for me, that was kind of a good indication. Now is the time to get back to reading this. Also, from the same thrift store, when I picked up the book Billy Fingers, which I've shown in a previous video, I didn't realize until I picked up the book to start reading it, that also happened to have a card in it, which was a gift from one person to another. And here's why that's interesting. Let me know, do you think the fact that I found a book with the name of one of my closest friends as a coincidence, or maybe synchronicity that it's time to read that book. What are your thoughts about Billy Fingers and finding a card with colors that are important to me when I do Reiki suddenly showing up in that book that I wasn't actually looking for and had just decided that maybe it was time to give it another read? Let me know in the comments down below. When you find books from your thrift store, have you come across nice surprises, whether it's a name or an item in the book? Until next time, have a great one.